Meaning, although he was persecuting people, it was God who was feeling the pain. So God has also suffered. Because the Lord told him, why do you persecute me? Remember, Christ on the cross, the gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 15, verse 34. Christ is on the cross and he is saying, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. When you hear someone speak their mother tongue, they are in trouble. I can speak English now, but the moment I get into trouble, I'll speak the first language I was taught by my mother or my parents. So Jesus is speaking in his mother tongue. That is how it is recorded. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. Translated, my father, why have you forsaken me? So God has also suffered. So suffering is not reserved for sinners. Of course they have their share, which is agonizing, which is painful, because they have nobody to cry to when they sin. When a sinner suffers, they have no recourse. They have nobody to turn to. At least Jesus could turn to the Father. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, my father, why have you forsaken me? And because God was with him, eventually he says, to you I have committed my spirit. So he was not alone. So the fact that God has also suffered should comfort our parents here that their loss is felt by God. Let us not try to understand why it happened. It may take a long time. There are many things that have happened that we have never known the cause. We may know the cause or not know the cause. It doesn't matter now. What matters is that there is a God who will walk with you. It doesn't matter what didn't go right. Of course, if there is crime committed, government should get to the root of it. But we are also aware there are many stones that government has never turned. Previous governments are still to turn stones. Although revelations are made how some people died in this country. Pio Gamapinto, Tom Boyer, J.M. Kariuki, Robert OUKO. We have never been fully officially informed how it happened. Of course, some investigations have been done privately, and we almost know who did it. But you dare not say it, you might be sued. You know, there was a bookshop in Nairobi one time, was it called Book Point, that sold a book that pointed a finger at someone that he had been involved in some death. The book talked about someone who is dead today, that he had involved in the death of some prominent people. And that person took the publisher, the author, and the bookshop to court. And they were sued, and they were fined. And that good bookshop followed it up. It had no more money after paying those fines. So we never say who did it, much as private investigators say it, because you may be in trouble. I haven't mentioned anybody. It doesn't matter. Government get to the root of it. The reports may take long. But the parents here, your concern may not necessarily be who did it. Although there will be better closure if they knew what happened. But the Lord who whispers to his people is telling you, I will walk with you. I will not desert you. Grass will grow. I'm your friend. I am Emmanuel, meaning God with us. When God is with you, proprietor of the school. May he comfort you, may he console you and your family. All parents, mothers and fathers, those who had only one child, the only one they had. Some had children who had been born after a long wait by the mothers and the fathers. They are here in the caskets. Shattered dreams, great loss. But God is whispering, listen, kindred, He is whispering to you that you will not go down. And therefore, after crying, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, you'll be able to say, unto you, I commit my spirit. I wait upon you. Why it happened? His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. We are limited. We may not know. We may talk about what should have been done and many other things. But as people of God, we are glad to surrender these parents to the Lord and the whole matter to the Lord. We are glad to surrender it because he has never disappointed, even in spite of that pain. After the crucifixion of Jesus, the family was consoled because you remember Jesus saying, mother, these are your children. Son, that is your mother. Life continues even when I die, even when I descend into hell. But later on again, he rose from the dead. It has been painful to people of God. As I conclude, remember there was also Job. He who suffered not because he was a sinner. He suffered great loss. He lost all his children, sons and daughters. He lost all his property. Livestock was precious those days. He lost all of it. Then he lost his health. Knowing how precious health is, we say health is wealth. He lost it. And then he lost friends. Because those men who came to sit with him, initially they were quiet, but when they started speaking, they condemned him. That such suffering will never come to a righteous man. The kind of suffering you have gone through, parents, never comes to a righteous man. Those were the words of the friends. And Job was wondering, what is this offense that I've committed bigger than those committed by others? But the friends were telling him, look how stubborn you are. Even when we have identified your problem, you're still saying, you're putting a lot of words in your mouth. This is nothing but a consequence of sin.